Thanks for checking out this review of Natasha Denona's Chromium Liquid eyeshadows. These eyeshadows are multichrome, which means its colours can change and shift depending on where the light hits and from what angle. Multichrome eyeshadows have become really popular in the past few years since they've been sold by a handful of smaller indie brands, usually in liquid or powder form. I found them hard to get affordably in the UK, but I found a few like Ciate I could try. If you know of any others, let me know below. I even got these and the Dominique Cosmetics ones in the US, but they were much more accessible than the indie brands. So I got Dogbane because it looked amazing in the photos and it looks like it's got 3 colours shifting in it, so I was really curious. That looked like the best one. In this container it looks like it's got a red, gold, green, possibly slight blue colour shift to it as well. The second shade I got was Scarab because I love greens, and this mainly has a green to a gold shift in it. Again, it looks like it's also got a blue shift inside the container. Inside the containers and the doe foot applicators, these definitely look very pigmented. So this is a swatch of Scarab. As you can see, it's not so even, but when I smudge it down, you can get an even application of it. The colour change isn't so obvious here with the natural light and shadows, but maybe it would work differently with different light and angles. I'll try these later with the different eye looks too. So this is the swatch of Dogbane. It's pretty much the same consistency, maybe slightly less even or needs a bit of building. The multichrome colour shift on Dogbane is a lot more obvious though. I tried a number of different looks, so I tried a blended look, a solid colour look, and then I did combined ones like a multichrome eyelid with a matte eyeshadow, and then combined the 2 eyeshadows on separate parts of the lid. I did different applications too, so I did tapping, blending with brush, and the doe foot application. So I'm going to show you how I did each look. So this one is a blended look using Dogbane, and I did blending and application with the brush here. I ended up trying to blend the edges with the brush as well, and with my fingers with a bit of tapping too. Tapping is probably the best way to get an even single application on there. But this is a soft blended look, which is quite hard to do with the liquid eyeshadow for me. So I think you'll get the gist of how I'm applying it in real time, so I'm going to fast forward the rest of this application. I think you'll still be able to pick up what I'm doing. You can also fast forward as well to look at other applications and looks and my other thoughts on the product. So that's the blended look. I just applied liquid eyeliner and mascara after. So for a more solid look, I used a doe foot applicator and I built up several layers. This was an easier way of applying much more sharper, defined lines. I'm not a professional, so I'm not great at applying liquid eyeshadow. I'm pretty much the normal consumer. With that in mind, I did take time to make sure I can get the most even application I could. So you can see a slight colour shift as I move my face in front of the light, but it's not as noticeable. It is, however, a lot more noticeable when you are transitioning between light and more dark angles. So definitely here I can see quite a beautiful shift. The multichrome effect is definitely not as strong as what the advertised photos suggest. It is quite pretty as a solid multichrome though. So I'll do the blended look with Scarab now. This is pretty much the same technique I applied with the Dogbane blended look. I don't know why, but I feel like I blended a lot better in this one. So I kept this blended look very simple. I just put on mascara and just left it as a nice soft blended look. I think this worked really well. It just shows this multichrome can be quite versatile, even as a liquid eyeshadow. So again, this is a solid look, and I did the same build-up application as the Dog Bane one. You'll just see later that I'll finish this look with mascara and a pop of colour on my bottom eyelid using a kind of sea green aqua eyeliner pencil. You can see here I'm struggling still a bit with even application on the eyelid. There's a few bits of patchiness that I correct throughout the application. I also tried to apply this under the eye, but I don't think that's effective. I'm not sure if that's a good thing to do either. It's probably best to use an eyeliner or something underneath. As you can see, my eyelashes are also coated with this because of my inaccurate application. But promise, I do wipe it off afterwards. Here's the finished look. As I said, I just did mascara and a pop of colour on the bottom eyelid. I also used a liquid black eyeliner on the top of my eyelid. You can definitely see the shift between the green and the gold here. And as you can see, I'm trying to move again with the light and angles here so you can see how the colour changes. They naturally need time to dry, that's another reason it could be patchy. Again, the multichrome effect is not the same as the photo advertised, but that's probably done by a makeup artist, and I'm definitely not one of those. I wasn't great at applying it, but it's still a pretty shadow. I'm now using the Scarab multichrome to combine a look with other eyeshadows. It's probably a popular, wearable, common way that you can use the eyeshadow to make a lot of different looks. I used a matte eyeshadow with a terracotta kind of orange shade at the top of my eyelid because I thought that would be really popping against the Scarab kind of gold green shade. You can also raise the Scarab multichrome higher than your eyelid to create a cut crease. I just added a light shimmery shadow to highlight the inner corner of my eye. I finished this look with mascara and eyeliner. It's a cool look, and I think you can do so many variances with different shades like green, maybe some mustard or brown for it to be neutral. I think there's a lot you could do with it. A dark bright purple might even make it pop as well. Here I'm making a look using both eyeshadows. Notice I'm using a different tapping application with my brush. Again, I really like the Scarab and multichrome shades on the eyelids, so I'm applying it again on there. Then applying the Dog Bane multichrome on the outer eyelid, just above Scarab. There's just a little blending going on between the two, but otherwise they're quite distinct layers. This is actually a really nice look. You've got two multichromes, so you've got all sorts of colours reflecting off there. You can see a nice difference in the light and dark angles too. I did a more solid hard version of that look as well. I didn't record how I did it because it's pretty much the same techniques again, but that turned out really cool too. Final thoughts. Not quite like the photos, but pretty multichrome. If you don't use liquid eyeshadows, you might find them harder to apply than powder. They're quite expensive, $28 for 2.5ml. These are probably good if you can't get access to more affordable multichromes with the shipping costs, or being more available, you only use multichromes occasionally, or having this as a limited edition collection. But if you want more bang for your buck, you prefer using powder shadows, and you can get access to these products from the indie brands, these might not be your bag. Right now they're the easiest for me to get. I will be reviewing Dominique Cosmetics and Ciate London's version too though. Let me know what you think about these chromium eyeshadows in the comments below. Thanks again for watching.